I have your file in front of me, and I'm going to leave your black background there. I kind of like how you can see the line, but I wanted you to look at your path palette here. This is just something for the future. Never leave a path named work path because it could go away and disappear, and then you would have to do it all over again. Okay, so you need to double click this, and I'm just going to say actual path or car path or Jeep path or whatever. Okay, I took a screenshot of this, and I'm going to open it up right now and show you that there is the screenshot. Now this tells me where your path is disjointed, and I want to show it to you. So I'm pointing to where it's disjointed. Do you see how right there it's disjointed? So let's get in there. Right here, right here, right here, right here, over by the wheel, again on the wheel, again on the wheel, and over here. Okay, so we're going to fix all those, and then you're going to see this whole gray area right there that I'm clicking on. That's going to be white. So even though it doesn't look like it's disjointed, it is. So we're going to examine where that is. So the first one is up in this corner right here. So even though that doesn't look like it's disjointed, it is. So how do you find out? Well, you go to your pen tool, you hold your finger on the control key or command key, and you don't let go. Okay, now watch this. So if I click away right here, and I hold my finger on the control key and I click up there, it's going to tell me where is the last point. Okay, so there is the last point. That must mean right there is where it's disjointed. So let's zoom in. So all you've got to do is pick up that one and move it a little bit away from the other one. So let me see where I can find that one. Okay, that's actually a handlebar from that point. So let me click in the point, and there it is. So now let's fix that. Now, how do you fix it? Okay, so let's see what this is. Is this a point or a handlebar? I don't know. So I'm going to leave it just like this, but this is the point. Okay, this is the handlebar. How do I know? Because I just know, okay? So the next one is here. So watch how I click this one here, and I'm going to put this handlebar pointing to that point right there. Now, how do you know? I'll show you. So when you let go and you're in the P key, nothing is going to happen if you hold your cursor over this. This isn't the last point because I'm getting a minus symbol. Do you follow what I'm saying? Okay. This is the last point because I'm getting that little 0 thing on the pen. I'll click it. Now I've got to go over here and find where the other one is, meaning the other point for the other path. And when I see the little 0 on the pen, I just click. Now do you see how I've joined it together? Okay, let's zoom out. Remember that's Alt, middle mouse button. Then I'll use the space bar to move it up, and let's follow the path. Aha! There's the other one right there. Okay, so remember, you're in the pen. The control key lets you click points, right? So let's zoom in and let's move these 2 points apart. Okay, now we've got some funny things going on here. So look what happened. See what happened? Your pen went back and forth. So we have to delete this point right there, delete it, and this point right there. How do you delete it? Well, I'm going to click on that point right there and hit the delete key. Now I'm in the pen, right? So I'm holding control and I'm not letting go. Okay, so now I can take this one and leave it right there. Now let's click this point. Okay, I think we're going to be okay, but look at the handlebar is going in the wrong direction. So I need to make the handlebar go, look at, that's a handlebar. I need to make it go in the correct direction, or else I'll get a loop on the path. Okay, now let's let go. I'm in the pen. See how it turns into a 0 again right there? So I've joined in the path. I'll pull out the handlebar. Whoops, Brian made a mistake. No, that wasn't a handlebar. This actually is the point. Oh, there's the handlebar. Okay, so now I fixed it. See, I'm waiting in the pen tool until the very last parts of the path show me that the pen can go over it, right? And it turns into a little 0. thing, a little round circle. So I click and I go over here and I close. See how I did that? Now let's continue. Right there, there's no point selected, so it shows me that you have a problem right here. Look at your icon, how it's getting better. Okay, so let's zoom into that. Now, in the pen, hold the control key, click on that point and just move it away. And let's see what is going on that point. So here's what the problem was. Okay, you actually didn't have a problem there, but what you did was you pulled the handlebars too long when you originally made it. Okay, because it is joined. So I moved it apart just so I could see what was going on, and it shows me that this handlebar is too long. So watch how I make it shorter. Now I grab this handlebar and I can make it better in the geometry. Do you kind of understand? Okay. Let's go find the next one. So I'm going to hold the Alt key and zoom out with the middle mouse button, and let's go around the car and find the next one where the point stops. Let me zoom out some more. Okay. You did really good, but there, see? Right there is the problem. So how do you fix that problem? Okay. The easy part would be to click the point. In fact, maybe I should show you it this way. Click the point and just hit the delete key once. Okay? Now that shows you the separation really fast. Let me Z back, control Z back and show you. So we were on this one, right? Right? This was the last point, right? So if you click it and just hit the delete key, remember my finger, I'm gonna Z back. I didn't tell you everything. Again. So I'm in the pen tool, I'm holding the control key, right? I click the path that I know I need to be on right there. There's the last point. Just click it and hit the delete key. That's a better way to tell you, okay? Now you can join in this one and close it. See how neat that was? Okay, so let's do this again. Let's follow it all the way around until I find the next part of the path that doesn't have, I think we fixed it all. I actually think we fixed it all. And you kind of missed the tire here, Brian. And it's because your car is so dark, but this is the front of the tire right here. And there's a problem with the path right there. Do you see how we got to join this part of the path together, okay? But you missed the whole side wall of the tire. I'll show you. So if I click your layer and raise the opacity up, okay, now what I need to do, it's going to take a little bit to show you. Here, this is what I mean. Do you see how the back tire has the part of the tire where the tread is? See how the front tire doesn't have any tread? Okay. There is a way that I can show you. I know I'm giving you a lot of information, and I don't mean to. I'm moving the path thing over. So I'm going to hold my finger on the control key, all right? And I can see that I need to take away all these points. So watch. I'm going to make a big box around the path like this. Now, do you see how all these points are solid right to here? Okay, actually, I'm going to go a little farther. And I'm going to delete out that part of the path. So, one more time. My finger is on the control key. I'm going to marquee the rest of this path right here. Okay, I have to stop right there. Let me do it again. Right there. And I'm going to hit the delete key. Now I have one point left over right there. So I have to get rid of that one point. Okay. So, how do you see when you can't see? Well, there's a way. I don't mean to tell you in that kind of way, but there is a way. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. And I'm going to even name it lighter, and then in a minute, I'm going to throw it away because I'm only using this to see the detail that's hidden inside of here because you need to draw it right? Okay, so if you go to Image, Adjustments, and Levels, right there. I always hit Control L. I never go there. So I forgot where it was. You get a Levels palette. Now, in the Levels palette, you get the whites. There's the whites that I could brighten. Here's the darks that I could darken if I move it to this side, but I don't want to move that. I want to move this one. So watch how I move this up. Now, here's the mid-range. Now remember, I don't care how bad I make this one, but do you see when I raise it up like this, you can actually see all the detail that you were missing? Do you see that? So now I'm going to click OK. So we're going to draw, but we're going to throw away this layer that I'm touching in a minute, okay? Because we don't need it after we draw. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, and do you see how even these 2 points we don't want? So how do you get rid of those points? You are in the pen tool, you hold your finger on the control key and you marquee around those 2 points like I just did, and you hit the delete key. Now you take your pen and look at how I can join in the path. Look at how I'm pulling as I'm going, right? It just takes practice, okay? Now look, I want to change direction on this one here. So if you remember how to change direction, you hold Alt and pull out a handlebar. Now I'm going to tell you, you've been pulling your handlebars too far. You've been pulling them right, but you've been pulling them too far. So now I'm going to come over here and pull. See how I did that? Now I need to change direction from here to here. So how do I do it? I hold Alt and pull a tiny little handlebar out. See that? Tiny. Now I'm just going to click and pull a handlebar. Now I have to change direction for the tire, which we can now see. So I hold the Alt key, go in the point, not the handlebar, and pull out a new handlebar, but not real far. Now I go over here, and you can see how I'm pulling the tire out, the part of the tread that we need, and I'm going to come over here and do it. Then I'm going to pull like this and do it. And I don't see how your path got kind of funny over here. So what we're going to do, since I know this little path here, let me turn this off. See this path right there? It's not exactly right. You missed the tire a little bit. See how you have a little bit of air left beyond that one? So we're going to click on that path, and I'm just going to hit the delete key twice. You have to hit the delete key once and twice to take that away. Okay? Now, here's the path that I just finished, so I'm going to go in there when the little circle shows up and pull out that point, and now I'm going to finish by clicking and pulling. Look at how nice I'm doing that. Clicking and pulling. Okay? Look at how I'm making sure I'm inside the black tire, clicking and pulling, right? Let's go right up to the corner here. You did a good job on the bottom. Click right there, Brian, and pull. But now we have to change direction on that handlebar. You hold Alt, go in the point, and pull out a new handlebar. Now all I have to do is go over here and close. Now look at your path. Look at how the path is all the way around the car. So I'm going to save your file. Now, I wanted you to see how I made a brand new layer, and I used Image, Adjustments, and Levels. Here, let me turn it on. I used Image, Adjustments, and Levels to see the detail that I couldn't see before. Do you follow what I'm saying? Now we don't need this, so guess what? We just throw it away. And there we go. Now I'm going to save the file again. Now I'm going to show you the next step to cut out the car. Okay? Now that we have a path all the way around, I'm going to come up here because you did this kind of correctly right here. You did. But I want to make sure that it's an exclude path. You remember, it cannot be a combined path. How do I know? So I'm going to come up like this, and I'm going to turn off your car for a second. Okay, when I make a selection out of this, remember, this is a path, it's not a selection. I have to turn it into a selection by control clicking on this. Now, if I control click on this icon and this part right here goes away, then I need to change the property of the path. So I'm going to control click on it, and you perfectly made it into an exclude path. You did a great job. Now here's how you cut out the car. You simply click on the car layer, okay? And with the selection active, right? And you clicked on the car layer, click the layer mask button, and the car is now cut out, okay? And now, if I were to take this off, you can see how you cut out your car. You did a pretty good job, okay? A real good job. Except, and I like how you did all your path all the way around. So, I'm going to save the file. And just for the sake of this, I'm going to close this file and close this one. And I'm going to close my little recording device here. And it wants to update. And I'm going to actually rename this number 2. And I'll tell you why I'm doing that. Because I'm asking you to watch this whole movie again. So I'm going to download the file one more time. So I'm going to download the Jeep number 1 file. It's right up here. It's right there. And now I'm going to double click it again to get back to the problem that you had. Okay, so this is the way you sent me the file in the first place. Now I'm going to give you a little bit better advice on how to fix the path. Not that I didn't give you good advice, but I gave you the best advice towards the end of the path. So here, let's zoom in. Now you remember, when you need to lighten this up, when you do, I'll put it back on 30% in a second, but turn it all the way up, duplicate it, right? This is for when you need to see the detail. Leave it selected, go to Image, Adjustments Levels, okay, Control L, all right, and move, let me move it up like this. Brighten it like this, and then take the mid-range and make it even brighter until you see the tire. Then you can click OK, but we're going to turn that off for a second because I want to turn it back to 30% like you did, or so. That's good enough right there. Now let's go find that area that I'm going to give you better advice on. Let me turn this down even more. Okay, so again, it's telling me if I am in the pen tool and I hold the control key, I can click the path. Now, as I'm looking, remember I said you pull your handlebars too far? Let me show you something. Do you see that funny little thing that's happening with the path right there? Well, I'm going to back off. I'm going to hold the control key and click so I can see the handlebars. You're still pulling the handlebar thinking it's part of the line. Do you see that handlebar right here? Just shorten it. Now, do you see that handlebar right here? Just shorten it. And that's how you fix it. So please pull your handlebars shorter. You did it again right there. See it? There's a handlebar for this point. You pulled it thinking you were making the line. You got to get it in your head that a handlebar wants to be short and a handlebar is not part of the line. It controls the line, but it's not part of the line. Okay, do you understand what I just said? Now let's go to where the last point is. Now here's what I want you to do. With every time that you find the last point, how did I find the last point? I'm in the pen tool, I hold the control key and I click, right? Just click that last point and hit the delete key. Okay, that's all I want you to do. So let me try that again. It should have worked. So let me click this last point. Oh, you know what? Okay, I need to click that point. Okay, you had a handlebar. I don't mean to tell you this. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do it even better. Okay, so I'm having trouble with this here. I'm in the pen tool. I'm holding the control key, and I think this is the last point, right? Well, what I'm going to do is click the line segment between them and hit the delete key. Do you see how easy that was? That was what I needed to do. But now this point right there, oh my goodness. Okay, this point is not part of this line right there. That's actually, oh yes it was. Okay, so I can take the pen and click and close. Now, what is that? That is a handlebar. Let me move this over. Okay, I still didn't fix it. I still didn't fix that. So I had to, there has to be a separation between the points. So now let's click this one and hit the delete key. Okay, there's my, took me forever to find that separation now, didn't it? And I'm the professor. So now here I can click, and the problem was your handlebar again over here was too long. And that is the problem. That is a problem. Okay, so now I can close. And there it is closed. Now let's try the same process on the next one. So here's the next one. What I'm trying to tell you is it's easier if you remove the line segment between where the path isn't connected and where it is connected. So I'm going to click this line segment. Like here is the last part of the path that worked, right? So click it. Okay, we have a handlebar that's too long here. I'm going to try to tell you something different, but not really. So what we need to do is click that last point and hit the delete key. Now that should work. All right. So what you want, no matter what you have to do, let me Control Z back, is click and join. So try to get the separation between where your path isn't and where it is. Now here's another one right here. And here you pulled here you pulled the handlebar just a bit too long again. I can tell that, okay? And this one, the handlebar is way too long. So that's what's giving you your major problems. Do you see how you pulled this handlebar? Look, this handlebar, oh no, that one was fine. Actually, that one was fine. This one's too long. So a handlebar only wants to be a pretty short distance from the point. Let's go find that next point. I know I'm going over this several times, but you need to hear this. Okay, there's where it's disjointed, right? How did I find that? I'm in the pen, I'm holding Control, and I click, and there's the last point. So let's see if this one works. If I hold the Control key and click on that point, I can hit the delete key, and that one worked. So that was easy. Now I can join that one and close that one. See how it should work? So just try to make sure that there's a gap between your path, then click your pen in the one point when it has a little circle, click it in the other point on the other side of the gap, and they should close. Let's try one more, and remember, you have to fix this tire. That's what it should have been, so go ahead and fix it. Now, watch when I actually, maybe you should do this prior, because look at how easy it is for me to actually hold the finger on the Control key, make a big, whoops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. All right, I actually, my finger hit Control Z, and it actually deleted out the rest of that path. So I didn't want to do that. I'm so sorry. Okay, so there is the problem. Because we made this lighter one, we see the detail, right? So if I hold my finger on the Control key, do you see how I can make a big box? Right here is where I want this gone. So let's make a big box from here all the way over to here. Hit the delete key, and we should be back and working. So that means you can go here, join in the path, and keep the path going all the way around, following the correct drawing. As you see that I'm doing right now, pull out a new handlebar here, hold the Alt key, pull out a handlebar, click, and just keep it going back down until we finally get over. And I know I'm rehashing this, but it's something you need to hear. Let's go all the way around, and I'm going to leave it right there because this path right there isn't a good path. So I'm going to click on that path, which goes from here, look, from here to here, and I'm going to hit the delete key how many times? Twice. 1, 2. Now I can find that other point, which is right here, right there, join in the path, keep it going all the way around, see the tire more accurately, make sure you have leaving a little bit of black showing, go all the way up to here, hold the Alt key, change direction like this, and there's the other path. Now look, we fixed it again, and it's still named work path, so I better name this Jeep path or something. All right, I'm going to stop it right now. I've given you 2 examples of how to fix this, and let's see how you can do. And then remember how to make the mask. So you control click the selection. Let me turn this off, right? Control click the selection, click on your layer and hit the layer mask button. Now, if I click over here to the image and turn up the opacity and turn off the black layer, your car is cut out. Okay, let me know how it goes.